Hi guys. Today we're gonna do some backtesting. I ain't really gonna be trading. So the thing is, what I'm waiting for here, since we're on -8% on the account, so being kind of like 2 trades away from losing the account, what I want to do is really focus on taking an A plus setup. So that's what I'm waiting for, an A plus setup. And I'm not really. We had kind of really good inverse here respected yesterday, which was a decent trade, but I didn't really fully like it. But yeah, I was kind of off the charts this week. This week was a bit more about still kind of learning some lessons, still kind of tweaking some things to be able to finally like fully commit. So that was kind of what I was going through. That's why I didn't stream yesterday. I didn't stream on my birthday. This week is probably the last week where I kind of, I don't know, um yeah, I don't know. So I'm gonna back to some kind of tweaking my edge. I'm seeing, okay, this is actually pretty decent with this hourly gap here on gold, but we're still maybe a delayed trending Asia, maybe a New York setup will be good here, but I do like how this is looking. We do have slight high resistance, but we just mitigated it, so that kind of loses relevance. We do have high resistance. I don't know if I will actually want to be shorting here now. If we did reach, maybe if we were shorting here, yeah, that would be fine, but here we're already reaching high resistance. Okay, so we're gonna see. What I plan on doing is just kind of backtesting. Sure, I'm gonna simulate as much as I can backtesting to live live, how I treat live trading, because I never really had data. That's the problem. I never really had data on my strategy because I never really treated backtesting as I'm treating live trading. So we're gonna see. We're gonna make. Still, win rate is not doing great. We're still around break even win rate. That's what I'm trying to do. Like, hi, bro, hi. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make my win rate higher. Like, this is still almost break even. Like, my equity curve is kind of trending higher on most of my like sessions. It's trending higher, but it's like, I don't know. I have good R. I have good average R, which is 2.7. That's why it's trending higher, but it's still a low win rate. I'm still not satisfied with this win rate. You get what I mean? Like, even here, this is where I backtested a bit more. I'm still kind of, again, see here when pre well, here as well, but still it's very inconsistent. 33%. I don't like that it's this inconsistent. My average R still says 2.75. That's kind of crazy. So I have like 2.75 average R. It's pretty high, but my win rate is still small. I would like to at least give it to like 50%. That's my goal, at least for now. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm kind of looking at, we can look on FX replay. We can check five pairs at once, and this kind of make it a bit more similar to how I'm treating live trading. This with so let me remove these. This with economical calendar. They have economical calendar has to be present every time I'm trading here, right? Like, a bad habit that I have with backtesting is I don't always check the economical calendar, which is something you should do if you want to keep your win rate as real as possible. So let's just start. Let's just looking at many pairs at once. And then filter, like, what are my focuses on recently is trade selection. That's how you're gonna make your win rate higher. Skipping over low probability trades and really choosing those high probability ones, those A plus setups. And that's what I practice on doing. Trading only A plus setups. That's a habit I'm trying to get into. So let's see what DXY is doing. We gotta start with the economical calendar, like as we do. 23 January to 25. So January 23 to 25. Boom, we're gonna use this. So we are in 23. We have unemployment claims and we have President Trump speaks. So we have basically New York news. So now we know how to approach this day. We have New York news, right? Do we want to trade in London? We can be trading in London. On unemployment day, sometimes it's fine. But in New York, we definitely want to be waiting for President Trump. But it depends a lot. um let me remove the trollings here. So it's a bit weird here. We have a lot of lows, so maybe this is a high resistance zone, and we are kind of reacting, but this is kind of the in-between state where you don't know for sure what price is gonna do. So meaning I do want to see behavior here. I do want to see if we support and move higher and then we see a 1 hour gap, or if we break it we're switching bearish. So that's the plan here. We don't know for sure what we're gonna do. We do have this hourly here, so maybe we reach into that overall this area, I don't know. So we might have a raid Asia and then start breaking lower, but that raid Asia is risky, so we gotta wait for another confluence here on looking for shorts or looking for buys. Let's see euro as well. Euro is probably in the same spot. Yeah, we did the inverse here, but we need another confluence to confirm the inverse lower and looking to target this can be a good trade. If we do this and form a 1 hour gap here, then we can look to target this. So this is valid. I'm also looking for valid trades. People say I don't trade with a strategy, but I do trade with a strategy. I do have a higher time frame strategy. I need to tie two confluences together on the higher time frame before you're looking for a trade. So in this case, for sells we only have one confluence. I cannot be shorting. I need one more confluence to be looking to short towards this. So yeah, and we're also on a 4 hour bullish gap, so I'm probably yeah, we definitely need that second confluence. CUK. See, this is a valid trade. First of all, we have this 4 hour nice retest here, and then we have another 1 hour print. So this is the second confluence of looking for shorts. Generally this is low resistance. We can also be drawing there, so but it's a strong low. It's kind of strong, so I don't know for sure, but we're gonna see. So we have UK decent. This has to develop, so we have, yeah, they all have to develop except UK. Only at UK we can look to be shorting right here, but considering London Open, I don't know. Let's see how much volatility we actually have. Yeah, we're actually switching bullish. Not necessarily, but let's see what Euro did, what GU did. We're still waiting for that. We cannot possibly be trading until that happens. We're probably gonna be drawn lower towards this though, and towards this. So is this still valid to be looking at this? Technically not really, because we inverse. We should have kind of respected that. So we need to wait for another 1 hour bearish gap here to be able to. Okay, so GU did reach our area, but we still need to wait for that 1 hourly inverse here. That would be a good trade. Now if we see that hourly inverse and look to short towards this gap, that would be a good trade. Euro didn't yet reach. DXY is starting to print a bearish gap, so that can be a good sign on DXY here, but we do have this, which is pretty close, so we still need to see how we behave to that. Okay, let's see. Okay, this one broke. Still in inspection, still gotta wait. This looks like a decent London continuation, I'm not gonna lie, but bias is still bearish for now. Even if we have the 4 hour, we cannot be shorting. We have this 4 hour here. It's still more likely to be bearish for now. Yeah, this looks like a good reversal here, but we can't really be looking to take this trade because we have only one confluence of taking lower prices. We need one gap lower or this inversion to be looking at short, so we can do that now. DXY, this could have been a valid trade because it did have the hourly gap printed, like a big ass fell swing. Maybe entry here, but it's very overextended. Yeah, we have one and now two technically, because this is actually this. We tested it, hold it higher, so we can. This is also valid now. This is valid to be looking at higher prices, but this is a weird ass consolidation, I ain't gonna lie. Maybe now if we get like a good break higher. That's a shitty break. Yeah, not really. Didn't do much today. Okay, I forgot about unemployment claims. We had Trump speaks here. See, indices didn't do shit on fucking news. While euro, look at euro. This was a kind of 1 minute time frame buy, decent of a liquidity sweep, but um, liquidity sweep in 1 hour. But I wouldn't have bought here anyways. It's kind of, yeah. Or because we had this. So let's think a bit about buys here. It was clearly kind of that buys were more likely to play. Is this still intact? It's still intact. So this could have been a buy here on President Trump. On the 1 minute, sheesh, this would have been fucking crazy. Boom, just target this 2 hour, easy. Yeah, this inversion looked good here, the equal low sweep, and we reached into that hourly FVG, so this was good. Just didn't look at it. And buys was clearly bullish here. Here we also end up respecting that. So let's wait for the next day. This is why it's hard, because it takes more time. You have to wait a lot more to get through 1 day of delivery, because you're paying attention to so many pairs, but I still like it anyways. DXY, really good flip here. How we held throughout Asia. This is really good on being bearish. As we had this hourly gap, did we reach into it? Yes. Then this 4 hour as an inversion. Boom, inversion retest here, really good, and then we opened very aggressively on Asia. So here I'm kind of looking at this to be trading off of. I feel like this FVG will not get taken because we have this very deep fill here. That's what usually happens. This is more like experience really, or intuition, however you want to call it. Also, euros looking good for higher prices here. We are reaching high resistance, so at this point it becomes invalid to be looking at buys. So if we retrace before we reach into that, I might consider it, but like this, not yet. Geo is better for buys. See, Geo is better for buys because it's voided. Even if it has this 4 hour gap, it's a really big gap, so it's better for buys. This is the comparison between low resistance and high resistance. This is a big difference. It makes a big difference in terms of win rate. This is what I'm realizing lately, because I see that most of the setups fail when we reach points like this, consolidations. Why is that? Because here there are a lot of orders, bro. So here you're reaching their break even, and what they're gonna do is protect their break even orders and try pushing tension lower. So that's many times when you see those trades that go a bit into profit then reverse, is because of these consolidations, especially on the 4 hour. This is very big. But on GU, look at this, we have a void. Now this is what we want to be buying into, because price has an easy time to deliver. There's not so much clogged orders there, like this for example. This is where GU becomes high resistance. Here is just a void that is gonna have a really easy time delivering through that. And these are the times when those high RR trades happen. We have bullish bias, and also it's really voided here. So these are the times when price actually prints really hard, when you see those 10 hours, 10 RRs, 15 RRs. UK also is looking good on being bullish here from this Asia gap with just easy target. Again, voided, low resistance. We don't have much structure to the left. We don't have anything. We're trading at all-time highs. Easy time on looking to deliver higher. Let's see DAX as well. So DAX is the same thing. It's just bullish order flow. So we're gonna look, but I think the most probable that I would like to see trade here is DXY. We do have this low taken, but I would still say we're going here. And GU actually, I forgot about GU. And really good sell side sweep here. This has potential to hold. I think I'm taking this shit like straight out the bat. What are we targeting though? I think we're just targeting the fill of that gap and reaching high resistance. Let's just try, to be honest. Didn't get tapped in yet. It's like right here. Okay, so maybe a 1 minute entry. Yeah, it had a 1 minute rebalance. That's why it didn't tap us in. At this point, I'm deleting my order. Like, it's too risky to let it open. It's probably gonna hold this though. Let's check the other pairs. I forgot about the other pairs. So Euro also printed bullish. We had a good retest on Asia, but yeah, we didn't get another retest on DXY, and we had a crazy inversion here. We did hold that buy, but we crazy inversion. Like, this is very bearish now. Big ass gap here. We do have this though, which is not. I do want to see a retest though. Maybe just hold for a retest and then we look to target this. So DAX still has room to reach. Very bullish on Euro and very bullish on GU. Can we still hold buys? Are buys still valid here? They kind of are still valid because we do also have this. So I do want to see how price respects here. Good gap. So if we support a break higher, we can easily go for London highs. Yeah, sir, skis. This is good. Okay, it's a good gap. It should be easy 2R, bro. And maybe this is our higher time frame target. What was my higher time frame here? So boom, and we can leave partial towards like 3.3. Sheesh. Let's see. I don't like being on a higher price. It's connected. Okay. No, not a full 1%. 0.5. Oh shit. We reached first objective. Maybe we should have had full TP here on main position, but I forgot to move it. I don't know which one is my my main TP. Easy. Oh shit. Bro. Sheesh. What was this trade, bro? Look at this entry, bro. Nah, this trade was crazy. I ain't gonna lie. This trade was crazy, bro. Like, even this entry was really good. And then look at this, bro. Bro. Shoosh. Shoosh. And we also wanted to entry in London, but we got missed, bro. And this was also like, this is just higher time frame, to be honest. And trading in low resistance. Oh my god, that's such a perfect example for that, bro. Like, why you wanna be trading in low resistance? Let's see Euro. Euro kind of worked as well, but I still think it was way better to trade you. Like, look at the difference, bro. Sheesh. I do like this trade. Why we were so confident in trading was because of this. Like, this is how we want to trade. So this is what I want to do from now on. I want to be trading in something like this every time in low resistance, in voided price action, not consolidations. But yeah, sadly this got missed, but these two trades were still really sick, and this was full TP as well. So we had 3R and 3R. Yo, let's delete this and let's journal this trade, bro, because it was clean. Like, I haven't seen a good Laden continuation, but and this is also pretty rare to see. Like, we had all sessions print in the same direction. Like, all sessions had massive continuations, massive ranges, and we just continued structure. It's very rare to see something like this. Most of the times when you see two sessions print in the same direction, meaning either Asia's gonna consolidate and then you see London and New York printed in the same direction, or Asia and London and then New York reverses. This is something rare to see. Most likely why we see this is because price action was voided. So price had an easy time to deliver. What day was this? We forgot to check news. We had, this was, oh shit, this was bloody London. Then we had 4:45 PMI. Okay, we forgot to check news, so we entered pre. So wait, this was PMI? I guess. So yeah, this was PMI basically. So we entered pre-news. There's also good data to how to approach PMI. But yeah, let's journal. It's just very nice landing continuation, I ain't gonna lie. Let's see what the other pairs did. I didn't check UK. UK ended up just breaking lower massively. We didn't end up coming into that gap. Very bearish towards hunting these lows. And this happened this year. So I don't know if I took this, but yeah, I did really like the break here, how this gap formed. I just trusted my intuition. There's not much confluence rather than that break. We had like a 3-minute gap hold. We had like a failed swing. Price didn't take this low because yeah, we mitigated this also. Is what we end up holding. And this was just confluence. When we broke above the side, we broke with momentum. So yeah, I don't know why my notion is not opening. Was this a landing continuation? This is gonna be, what is this? Due. So let's see higher time frame here. On the 4-hour, we didn't really have much. But look how the day opened. We had a lot of delivery on the day. So this is how the day opened. The day opened to us making this 4-hour and holding it higher. This was a breakaway. Then again, we printed another one. So we had 2 breakaway gaps basically on the 4-hour. What I really like was this. Really voided price action, low resistance. Exactly what I say. Like, these are the setups that we want to be trading in. Low resistance when price like has really this huge voids. And that's what this level should have been. Hi bro, hi. Welcome to the stream. Really voided price action. Low resistance. Good morning. This is why the trade was really good. And 2 breakaways. Like, this is rare, but this really shows a lot of momentum. 2 breakaway gaps. We didn't hold anyone, and we did come from this as well. We just had bullish order flow hold. What did I do? Okay. And then on the hourly, another. Like, we just have like such consistent order flow getting respected. This was that 4-hour where we started being bullish from. We had 1-hour gap get mitigated here, 1-hour gap get mitigated, 1-hour gap get mitigated. Like, it's just 1-hour gaps holding, to be honest. In continuations, like, that's it. 1-hour gaps holding. So yeah. I don't know why this is getting bugged, but we play some music. An intraday profile was actually pretty interesting as well. We had that trending Asia here, then landing continuation. Like, very rare they all, like, these 2 models happen in the same day. Very heavily trending day, I would say. Yeah, this trending Asia, we almost reached the FVG. We didn't really. Then we kind of inversed here. This is nice. We formed this order block here that ended up getting held by price. This is nice. So sell side liquidity rate almost reaching into that hourly, but not really. Oh, we did reach into the hourly, my bad. Nyata. Reached into that, and then, and this was also an important FVG that was formed here. So that's also something to see. And then just land, like, it held higher. Also, this consolidation was helpful. That's what we ended up holding. So this consolidation was a 50-minute order block and also 50-minute inverse here. That's what it was, ended up being a pivotal point. Then first entry was just seeing this gap higher. We didn't take this low because price already mitigated that zone pre-New York. This was a partial level, and this was finally like filling that. This wasn't even that like highly confluenced. It was just a gap higher. First entry and the second as well. We just closed above these highs. We're not complicated entries. You don't need to overthink when trading like this. Continuation, like even now again, just continuation pattern. Like we could have left this, would have been already way more, like 5 hour both trades. Yep. Probably gonna just see continuations towards the next day, but we're reaching high resistance, so we gotta be careful. This is when trading becomes way less probable for us, or at least buying from that. See DXY, I wanna see what DXY did. This can be called high resistance, but we didn't really reach it, so we can be shorting on DXY until this gets hit, probably. Overall did reach high resistance, but I would still say we're going a bit lower, so we did take this low, so that's what we gotta be careful. Probably reaching into this inverse here. This is kind of bearish. I don't know, euro looks bearish here, even though yeah, we did mitigate that, so very high chance we're gonna start seeing bearish momentum. I do want to see bearish order flow hold here, so let me remove some of these drawings. It's kind of already inverse this, holding it. We do have this as well, so I'm not sure. This is high resistance again. Trading for us apparently gets invalidated here. This is what I'm testing, not trading in high resistance areas, trading in low resistance. So here, I don't know, probably our best bet is waiting for price to invalidate, and that's it. Like we don't want to be buying here or break above that high resistance area. Like this is crazy. We don't want to be trading into this, so probably more likely to see bearish order flow. UK still looking like it's going lower, so probably still gonna go. We can still look at continuations here. Still avoided price action. Like again, this is good. This is low resistance. I just use like higher time frame. I need to tie two confluences together on the higher time frame to be able to take a trade, and then I just take lower time frame entries, like on the 3-minute. So for example, in this case, do we have two confluences to look at shorts? We have an inverse here, which is one of my confluences, and then we have another gap getting hold here, so that's still being able to look at taking price lower, or we're waiting for this hourly gap here to form. So one confluence, and the hourly gap here is the second. So now the trade becomes valid for me to be looking at shorts lower. And now what I'm implementing in my strategy is looking to trade only in low resistance, meaning something like this. High resistance is something like this. So that's kind of it. And then I just didn't do any shit for the rest. I mean, still you need to tie the confluences together, so that's a non-negotiable. And then the rest are just intuition. So let's make our plan. Now we decide what is the highest quality pair. I would say UK is first, highest quality. Euro, still want to see develop. I don't want to be trading euro. GU, I do want to see 1 hour gaps. So I do want to see if bearish order flow holds, but still wouldn't really be shorting from here, so still buys. Even if we get 1 hour gap lower, I'm not gonna trade. DAX is looking pretty bearish. We had an inversion, so we can probably look to trade DAX and UK. On shorts, low resistance, we don't really have trouble looking at price lower. Euro, we need to see price develop. GU, we need to see price develop. DXY, probably the same. We need to see price develop here. We need to see if we get 1 hour gap lower to hold price, or something to happen. Like here is low probability for us to trade. So let's wait for the, okay, UK rejected. Okay, DAX is looking better here. On DAX, we did get the hourly gap, so this becomes valid. 1 confluence. 2 confluence. Oh, he's just gambling. He's just gambling, bro. What are you doing? You don't know what you're doing, man. How can you be gambling like this, man? You're just trading on emotions, bro. So many people tell me that, but it's not actually true. You're trading on experience. Like, I do have a system. It's very, like, non-restrictive. Very small rules, but it allows my intuition to flow. So I still want to see the retest. I'm not going to trade until that happens. UK, we did reject pre-bullish. I don't want to be trading yours. So sticking to the plan. Probably only DAX gonna look to trade for this day. Even if we're gonna get that retest, doesn't really look like we are. So let's see now if we start seeing bearish order flow. Now we just disrespected the zone, so at this point it just got invalidated. So we're just gonna be looking to trade the next day. That's pretty much it. So here again, the same plan. I want to see 1 hour gap lower. This is still first confluence. Now we are required to see the second confluence before trading, which is the gap. So we need to see that gap lower, or need to see that gap higher from here to have a trade. We are looking kind of bullish on UK, but still not enough confluence to be looking at buys or sells. It's in that middle state, that in between. DXY is looking pretty bullish though, I am gonna lie. Like 4 hour, we did come into the high consolidation, and we did have a strong inverse here. Yeah, this is looking pretty bullish, or has potential to be bullish. Inverse. This is kind of what is dangerous, but we're still gonna wait for price to retrace and see. Don't really like this move. Not gonna trade it. UK, we did print that bullish confluence, so now we can look at this. Still don't want to be trading. I just don't like how the market's looking. Jew's looking pretty bearish. Okay, so let's look at this lower time frame here. We had inversion. We had buy sell liquidity sweep into the high resistance, then inversion, and now we're holding lower. I do want to see a retest though. Probably gonna hunt for this. Maybe we reach back into this next day. It's kind of choppy. I forgot to check economical calendar. This is what I'm talking like. It's a bad habit. Not really anything. And next day we have FOMC. So FOMC statement. We gotta be careful. That's why this day is so slow, because we have FOMC. We're gonna see. Let's see what the real market is doing. But I don't really want to be trading today. It doesn't look that great. Gold is looking pretty bearish though. We did have that hourly gap, so this looks like a decent setup if we get that retracement into New York. So still gonna wait for this area. Still looks good. It's very likely to see that So the delay trending Asia, one of the models I have. Let's see. This one. This is generally what I'm expecting or what I want to see to be able to trade. But I don't know what's gonna happen. It's like we have a really good POI within Asia, and London just retraces. London sweep, London high sweep into the POI, and then we look to be trading lower towards London lows. But London has to retrace. In this case, it would be nice to see this stay intact. So yeah, it's a nice model. And I think gold is the only pair I'm looking at today. I don't really like euro. I mean, euro's looking pretty bullish, but this move is just slow. For me to look for buys here, I want to see some strength, some movement. This is too slow. Jew's just bearish, like it doesn't give a shit. I was also looking at DAX, but as we have buy sell liquidity sweep into 4-hour AVG, 4-hour inverse, and now we can easily look for shorts here. So it's valid, but we just big ass gap. I don't know if it's gonna retrace. Probably it's gonna use this, no? Because it has this inverse here and this order block. So this is probably the retest area which we're gonna see. Looking at this equal lows here. Can be an idea again. So DAX is probably golden DAX would be realistically only what I'm looking at. Here also we have an inverse, but it's still we need to see one more confluence. This is only one confluence. We need to see the second, which is another 1 hour gap. Can be trading otherwise. I was looking at a trade yesterday, so on UJ we had a pretty good 4-hour area here, then inverse to gap, and I was looking to trade off this gap to target the equal highs here, but I didn't really trade in. There was a possible entry, but this one right here was a pretty good entry. Boom, we had inversion, market structure shift, entry here, stop loss either here or here. So in the safe case, we would have gotten 2.8 hour, but we would have had to let the trade run overnight, which is something I don't usually do. In this case, it just went really clean. He had really clean delivery for midnight, but this was clean, so yeah. This kind of looks bearish. Usually in this model we see price retrace, but yeah, we're gonna see. Maybe it's gonna retrace after taking the low. But yeah, let's get to backtesting. So on this day we have FOMC. So I don't know if you want to be trading. Sometimes on FOMC day, we can be trading London, but New York is troll to take. Liquidity University. What is that, bro? Haven't really heard of it. But now we're, oh shit, we got that second influence. We can be looking at shorts here to target this. I would say low resistance a bit, but it's just like very small consolidation. I don't think they're gonna be a problem. We're probably gonna be drawn towards here, and this is when high resistance starts happening. So this is where we don't want to be trading. A good London continuation, good rate Asia. Oh my god, look at this. Really nice hold of the retest here. But was it too early? It was too early to be shorting. I mean, not really, because we had area, we didn't really have buy side, but we had area, inverse. We could have shorted here at least. Oh shit, this short was valid. Looking to short here to target this low, but yeah, missed it. Holding pretty well. Okay, but I don't know if we want to be trading in New York here. Like, we should have been trading in London, not New York, because now FOMC is getting close, right? We have FOMC. I don't know if you want to be shorting here. I'm just not going to, but I'm gonna put this here, just like for funsies. Yeah, see, this is the exact reason why I don't want to short. Okay, bro, I'm gonna check. But good thing I didn't enter here. We just reverse. Also, this is a nice case where London, the London range gets reversed on. This is probably the key reason. This is a sign that I usually see on this when price reverses instead of continuing London range. It does continue it short term and then it reverses. So this is actually a clean example of that. I want to save this somewhere. Probably London, but it's probably like New York reversal, isn't it? I'm gonna save it here. In this case, it was something similar, but it was lower time frame. It was in this small one here. We consolidate, then we sweep. We have a small continuation, and then we reverse. It's the same case here. So let's look at DXY. I do really like it's something nice to be backtesting like this with 5 pairs at once, to be honest. I do like it because you're kind of choosing the highest quality setups, if that makes sense. Here's kind of weird. It's gonna end the in-between state inversion. Not sure, don't want to short. We don't have an area. It's this, but it's already mitigated, so it loses relevance. I don't want to be trading necessarily off that. This is weird. So yeah, one with one, but it gets it's hard. See, this is sometimes when applying this strategy gets hard, but yeah, still kind of in the in-between state. In-between state is when we have an initial move higher, but we don't know, we haven't switched trend yet. So in terms of market structure, it's like this. Wait, it's like this actually. Then we have one break, right? We need to see, at one break we don't know for sure if trend is switched. We need to see that second break higher, then we have the higher low, and then the uptrend is confirmed. In this case, we don't know if this is a market structure shift or a rate on liquidity for price just to hold lower from here and go. So this is what I call the in-between state, where I don't trade and I need to wait for either we break above here or we break below here to be traded. So yeah, let's skip to Asia actually. It's a pre-bearish hold, not gonna lie. It's looking pretty bullish. This is nice actually. Like look at this. But it's not really conditions you want to be trading in. It's too like bearish POIs are strong and also bullish are. So it's kind of like, again, it's very not one-sided. You generally want to be trading in very one-sided setups, if that makes sense. When you have confluences only in your side, like here for example, here when we took that buy higher, we did take that buy to fill this gap. That's when bullish cases were really in our favor, really heavily inclined in our favor. Now we don't know whether we're gonna hold that bearish intention lower off this or just continue higher. So we don't have yet enough confluence to be doing anything, so this becomes a no trading area. Euro does look a bit better on being bearish though. Let's count our confluences again. One, this is technically two, but again intuitively I still want to see this get retraced too. It's looking a bit better on being bearish Euro. We have one and second influence here, which technically makes it valid. In terms of validity, it makes it valid. Now, after I identified if the trade is valid or not, then I let my intuition filter it if it thinks something's wrong or if I should tweak my decisions. Or for example, here's where my intuition handles my trade. Do I wait for this to get taken for price to come into this, no matter that the trade is valid to take from here. You get what I mean? Now I would generally want to see this. This is higher probability. My strategy doesn't tell me to wait for this, so I'll probably still wait for this, even if the trade is valid right now. This is what intuition helps with. Like, there are a lot of trades that are gonna be valid and that your intuition knows they're low probability, that is just not ashamed to use it. Like, I used to take trades because any valid trade, like my intuition, the trade would have been valid, my intuition was yelling at me that the trade is likely to lose, I would take it, then I would lose, proving my intuition right. Even the trade being valid, my intuition knew that it was wrong and it was a low probability trade, but I didn't skip it. So that's kind of what makes the difference in win rate, because that's what intuition is good at, like determining low probability setups even if the trade is valid. But this does look decent though, but I still want to see that. Still not liking this. This is not where I want to trade. I want to see retracement probably in this. That would be nice. This is 30 January. Let's see. We do have a lot of news this day as well. We have like hella news. Oh shit. My big ass candle. So this is where the XY is gonna confirm, really confirm what it's gonna do next. We have this gap here now. If it breaks it, it means we formed a higher low, and we're gonna go make that higher high, probably towards this. If it holds from here, breaks below, it probably means we're gonna make that higher, that lower low, my bad, and go lower. So this, again, really important. Is this a higher low, or we're just gonna continue lower? It's already New York close again, no trade this day. So let's see 31. We do have, I have or never traded this news. I don't remember. Oh, I did, my bad. PCE. So again, New York, we have news. It ended up holding bullish pretty well. We have this good gap here now, and we can still be looking at higher prices. Is this considered high resistance? That's the question. But this looks like a good range, I'm not gonna lie, bro. We have this buy side liquidity. I think I remember this setup, since it was 2025. I think I do remember this setup. This is very likely a good trending, a good range, meaning we buy from here, looking to target the equal highs in this. So we're gonna see. Euro looks weird though. Okay, this is very high resistance. We know that, so we want to actually be shorting. We don't want to be buying towards that high resistance. But it's kind of confluent. We did come in. Okay, look, see, this is where I just said about this, like my intuition. Remember that I said the trade was valid to take from this low here, looking to short lower, but I said my intuition is just telling me to wait for this gap. Look what price did. Imagine if we would have shorted here. That's exactly where intuition came in clutch, and when intuition actually shines. So imagine if we would have been short here, looking to keep targeting lower. My intuition told me that short is risky, better wait for this. Even if this was valid, my intuition told me it's risky to take, so it's just better to avoid it, and ended up being right, because you would have caught an unnecessary loss and then you could have maybe capitalized on this move lower. So that's when intuition really enhances your trading, I would say. That's where it shines on decisions like this, that if you would have just blindly respected your rules, you would have taken that L here. You would have taken that L if you were blindly respecting your rules. This is a good start. I want to see if it, okay, this is, bro, I just took a trade like this bro, recently, but we don't really have our, let's see DXY. Is DXY looking good? It's looking good. Do we want to be buying here is the question. It's kind of on the second leg and we don't have really great R, but the setup does look good even if we didn't take this low, because we had this hourly inverse here. And I cannot remember price action as well, to be honest. We can actually take both here. Now what do we want to do? We have this, which is a nice target on euro, so we can get 2R, and this is our target. Low resistance, the edge is pretty solid. Again, let's recheck if the trade is valid. Buy sell liquidity into 4-hour gap or inverse, however you want to call it. So this is one confluence and the second is this 4-hour. Boom. And from here just easy shorts. So let's do that shit, bro. Should we do DXY also? Take 2 trades. the ultimate gamble experience. Let's see. Okay, let's see. DXY is DX. Oh shit. We gotta pay attention to to these highs here. Euro should be reaching lower, but sometimes these lows do give resistance. But I'm gonna watch 1 minute here. Oh shit. Oh. Oh shit. But I did kind of cheat. I do remember this price action. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, this is a clean setup. 4-hour with 4-hour here. Yeah, it just was clean. And I do remember it not taking the slow. That was kind of the trick here. Maybe we'll take a small break. Let's see how our win rate is doing. I think we're okay. Our win rate went up. That's pretty good, I would say. But we did take massive W on these last few trades. But why is it looking so weird? It looks weird. I don't know why it's looking like I don't know. Okay, okay, sheesh. I actually said I want my win rate to be 50%. Oh my god, bro, let's go, bro. Oh shit, we did take. Oh my god, look at the last period. What the fuck? This was break even. Okay, this is actually good. Like, if I manage to keep my stats like this consistently, it's good. Because look at this. So we had 2 trades here, like 4%, 1% loss, break even, minus 1.5% loss, and then 3%, 1%, 1%. This was 5% and this was 4%. So if I manage to keep it like this, is pretty good. Average trade frequency. What do you mean I have 1.7 trades per day? That means I have like 10 trades per week, and here it says I have 3 trades per week. 3 trades per week, I think it's actually kind of true. This is what are my trades per week average, and trades per month 15. Okay, that's decent actually. No, 3 trades per week I have. But the thing is, I have high R. This is why, like previously I had like 35 win rate and my equity curve were still going high. My average is 2.7. Ideal average R is 9. God damn, bro. Apparently Monday is my lowest win rate, 33%. Thursday actually is. Friday 100. Okay, buddy. We'll see if we manage to keep this up. I want to see consistency. I don't really care if I'm seeing 1 month like this. I do want to see consistency. If I'm able to maintain a win rate like this consistently with this art, that's gonna be perfect, to be honest. That's gonna be perfect if I'm able to. Overall, it does say, because it calculates this edge as well, where I didn't have that great performance. I was still kind of, yeah, maximizing. So I do wanna, can I delete this? I don't know if I want to delete it. I'm probably gonna make a screenshot just to compare equity curves. I did remember this. I do want to save it somewhere in Notion, but where? I did have like my Notion is still really messy. I need to work a bit more on it. Where are my stats, bro? Okay, here. So I want to compare this to later on this. Oh, I can use them both. Okay, that's better. Because there was kind of some tweaks in what I did, and I do want to keep track of them. This is also an interesting stat, showing your win rate based on the day. It's pretty interesting. So this is actually the first one, I would say. So probably put it something like this. Like, see, this is not really great profitability. This was why the long win rate wasn't really that great. Like, very inconsistent months, a lot of big red months, like 2%. Yeah, very inconsistent profitability, I would say, this one. But the one that we had now, we had like 15% months. So I do want to keep the backtesting going for like at least 1 year, then I can kind of conclude. This was 1 month, it can be a really good period. So just by staying aware of that. But I don't know why it looks so choppy. Why isn't it like smoother? Because of the big wins, I think. And then we have the second, which is this one. I do want to save statistically because I'm on the final day of the free trial, so I don't want to really lose them. I mean, I'm gonna lose them regardless, but I want to save pictures. I mean, realistically, are 15 months, are 15% months like doable on a consistent basis? That's kind of a good question. I would say actually yes, it actually is. I mean, seeing glimpses of, I don't know, how my strategy works. Sometimes I've seen 10% weeks a lot of times. 10% weeks. For example, this would have been this would have been pretty much 5%, 6%, 7%, 10%. Oh my god, I just said that. Like, with my strategy, I've seen 10% weeks happen, and this is exactly what this week was. A 10% week. So if you're able to have 1 week like this during the month, you're basically good. You're hitting a 10% target. So you're chilling. Even if you lose on the rest of the weeks, if you're gonna have that 10% week, you're gonna be in profit pretty good, pretty easily. And there are months where you can have 2 weeks like this, and so like it can happen. I'm gonna go take a like 5-minute break. And did I save this? I didn't. And also, this is an important statistic. This is realistically how my statistically. I do have 3 trades per week on average, 3 trades. But yeah, I'm gonna go smoke a ciggy. want to talk about something really interesting and the experiment that I did right now. So let's start. Okay, I'm probably gonna make this into a video, so if you're on the stream, say hi YouTube, or I don't know. So what the difference is between this, oh shit, is that, bro, that just looks good, I ain't gonna lie. Between this equity curve and this equity curve, you know what it is? In this one, I was not emphasizing trade selection. I was just trading almost every valid setup that I see. On this one, where I trend way higher, I traded only A plus setups. That's what makes such a big difference in equity curve. Look at my win rate, 33%, and trading only A plus setups brought me to 53%. That's a huge difference. That's a huge difference because look at the profit that was made on this one. Total PNL in 4 months, 3 months is 5%. Look on this one. In 1 month, I don't even know how much percent is that. 15% in 1 month. It's a big fucking difference. It's a big difference only from higher win rate setups. My risk reward is around the same. Look at this. Actually, on this one I had a high risk reward, 2.76. On this one I have 2.6768. So only by trading higher quality, only trading A plus setups, this is the difference it makes in terms of equity curves, in terms of how much profit you make, in terms of, yeah, and it really massively increases your equity curve. This is, I mean, here the losing streak was not great, but sometimes it happens. But yeah, this is how it makes a big difference. And actually I wanted to say this, ChatGPT, look at this, what ChatGPT actually said. Let me remember where I put it. I know I had like I don't know if here, okay, here. So this guy said, ChatGPT said that, I asked him what determines win rate, what has the highest influence on win rate. Look what it had. Trade selection is responsible for 60% of your win rate, bro. That's more than half. That's more than half. 60% trade selection. Execution and timing, meaning your entry and having proper timing, is 20%. Psychology 10%. So ChatGPT debunked the myth that psychology is 90%. Psychology 90%, technicals 10%. ChatGPT debunked it and said that trade selection is 60% and that technicals are 90%. Right? So ChatGPT debunked this. So apparently trade selection, meaning you choosing to trade A plus setup, has a 60% influence on your trade. So trade selection is big. Why? You have to think that how trade selection is made. We are talking already about valid setups. All the setups that you're gonna take are gonna be valid. Like, that isn't a problem anymore. We're not thinking about invalid setups, but these valid setups can be graded into multiple grades: A plus, A, B, C. What does this mean? There are some setups that even though they're valid, they're lower probability to win. So you want to gain the highest amount of win rate, you want to be choosing only A plus, A and A plus setups because they are the highest win rate. Now the question is, how do you grade? How do you know that one of your setups is A plus or is C? How do you know that? Well, that's through intuition mostly. That's what I see, that even as a strict mechanical trader, you gotta use some sort of intuition for trading, meaning your experience. You gotta use your experience with trading your strategy on determining which one is high probability or low probability, or you can also use some rules. But yeah, 60% influence on your trade and on your win rate is going to be trade selection. So this is a must. You realistically cannot be turning profitable without trade selection because it's 60% dependent on win rate. It has a 60% influence on win rate. So yeah, we're gonna leave that at that. So what I want to do is trading only A plus setups. This is what I did here, and how you see a big difference in my equity curve and in my win rate. Right. I also want to check if I saved something from GBT. Not really, but yeah. Psychology only 10%. Think about that. 10%. So GBT said that the 90% psychology, 10% technical is actually the opposite. It's reversed. It's actually 90% technicals and 10% psychology. And journaling on continuous improvement, it's only like 5%. But yeah. I think I asked him about win rate and he told me. But here I think this is trading. This is basically trading all these setups. This is what win rate it gives me. And trading only A plus is what this win rate I get with this win rate, and the difference in profit is absolutely huge. And you have to think that you cannot, like, this is the best decision that you can do. Oh, I also wanted to talk about this. Okay, so going from break even to profitable is not about winning more, it's about losing less. It's about you eliminating the unnecessary losses. Where do those losses come from? They can come from you forcing trades, from a mental issue, psychological issue, or it can come from a technical issue, right? Unnecessary losses. And how did I filter them? This is what I did in the break-even period. I had unnecessary losses coming from trade management. I fixed that. I had unnecessary losses coming from execution. I fixed that. And now the last boss of this profitability formula is trade selection. Now all I gotta do is fix the unnecessary losses from trade selection. How do I do that? By choosing only to trade A plus setups. This is how you go from break even to profitable, by consistently choosing to trade the highest probability setups. That's it. And avoiding low probability ones, because this makes a huge fucking difference. This, and even if you think about it, right, this is like, I just did this experiment and now we see exact proof of it working. This is break-even win rate. This is break-even win rate with 2R. This is a bit of a higher RR, but generally it's break-even win rate. And with this, by us choosing only to trade A plus setup, we go to a profitable win rate, 50%. So this kind of it kind of proved what GBT said with trade selection. Trade selection being 60% of the win rate. This is everything about filtering noise and only trading the cleanest. Great selection can make a 50% win rate look 75 just by cutting the junk, or a 33% win rate into 50, which is exactly what it did in my case. Trade selection is actually extremely important, and it's what generally makes you go from break even to profitable. That and removing all the unnecessary losses that can come into all this space. So it's just and then it's just about keeping them constant, making sure that your psychology is good every day you show up in the market. Your trade selection, you select only A plus trade consistently, you execute consistently, you manage your trade the best you can on a consistent basis, and you improve consistently. So and all of these need to be kept consistent for you to turn profitable, right? You cannot be doing it one day, then the rest of the days one of those fall. You cannot be doing that. You need to keep all of them consistent. That's what is hard about trading, and that's why it requires a rhythm and real life and a routine, because if you don't have a routine, it's gonna be really hard to keep so many things consistent. And we just got proof on the stream what makes you go from break even to profitable. I'm backtesting for now. It's very likely gonna happen on live as well. I just gotta be doing my job at this point and just filtering, and it has a huge fucking impact. Just choosing to trade A plus setups. This is what I'm gonna focus on every single day, and not only that, on just keeping all of these consistent, because that's what trading, that's what profitability, that's how you achieve profitability. So not only keeping me choosing A plus setups consistently, me also executing properly, me managing trade and taking partials when I'm supposed to, doing the best decision, and keeping all of these. It's not, you cannot really do one of them, you gotta do all of them. So that's why I'm gonna keep this stream short. I just wanted to put this out there. I said I'm kind of finishing my edge. I'm doing some work on my edge, and now we can finally have even some proof of that working, and we'll see what they do. But next week I'm really planning on starting like hard. These 2 weeks were a bit more about me, as I said, learning the last steps that I need to learn to be able to keep a consistent edge and learn these lessons that make a huge fucking drastic impact. Choosing only A plus trades. This is what I'm gonna leave you with. Choose only A plus trades. And I'm gonna see you next time. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody.